Over time, I've had a lot of people ask, don't you have a video on IELTS speaking? This is for you. I'm here to give you some very special tips on IELTS speaking that will enhance your success in the examination. IELTS speaking is majorly a one-on-one discussion between the examiner and the candidate. So what are some important things that you need to do to enhance your success? Number one, you need to work on your speaking ability. Yes, this is because in the IELTS speaking test, your pronunciation, intonation, fluency, grammar are as important as the content of what you say. What do I mean? What I mean is that you don't just go to the examination showing off what you know. You also need to show off how you say what you know. You have to be fluent enough. Very important. Fluency depicts your ability to express yourself effectively while speaking. For example, you should avoid long pauses whenever you are answering your question. Pausing for too long can reduce your mark, and you should be as natural as possible. Avoid making mistakes. Yes, I know we're human. Sometimes mistakes can be inevitable. When you make mistakes, I always advise students that you should try to compose yourself, be natural enough to say, I'm sorry, and I meant to say, and just move on with whatever you have to say. For instance, let me take a past question. The question says, how do you usually travel to work or college? Now, here is my answer. If I'm going to work, I usually take the bus. It's convenient for me because there is a bus stop near my house and it takes me about 30 minutes to get to my workplace. However, if I have classes at school, I usually prefer to take the train because my school is quite far from my house. So with the train, I get to school within 15 minutes, which is quite early compared to taking the bus to school. Answering questions such way can boost your fluency and coherence in the IELTS speaking examination. Coherence means your organization of the spoken words. How does what you say relate to the topic? How do you transit from one sentence to the other sentence? And this is why sometimes you need to use transition words. When I'm speaking of transition words, I'm referring to words like however. In the example I use, you notice I used however when I wanted to explain how I go to school. Words like furthermore, words like for example, words like especially. Imagine something like this. It is popularly known that women are more merciful than men, especially the ones from ages 40 to 70. With especially, I have highlighted the set of women that are more merciful than men. The use of transition words brings more clarity into your expression, but you don't use it unnecessarily, you only use it where necessary. How about your vocabulary? You need to work on your vocabulary. When I say vocabulary, I mean your ability to use different words and your ability to paraphrase. Paraphrasing is a big deal in IELTS test. You don't want to repeat the same word that you have in the question, but while paraphrasing, you have to be very careful so that you don't change the meaning of the question and you don't change the meaning of the word. So you have to paraphrase wisely. And also, you don't have to paraphrase unnecessarily. Your grammar is also very important. Under grammar, we have the tenses, your use of tenses, the way you use tenses while speaking. You have to be very sensitive. For example, if a question is being asked using the present tense, of course, it is expected that you give the answer in the present tense. If you're going to be using past tense for a question that has been asked in present tense, you need to do that wisely. Let's take, for instance, I have a question like, what kind of food do you prefer? That's a question in the present tense. Ordinarily, you want to answer using the present tense, which is very, very fine. But if I want to answer using both the present and past tense, I will say it this way. I enjoy a variety of foods, but I prefer healthy options like fried rice and salad. I like them because they are not only nutritious, but they are also very delicious. In the past, I used to take a lot of junks, but I have gradually moved towards healthier foods. So you can see how I combine the present and the past tenses together. When I wanted to introduce a past tense, I used in the past and I used to indicate my actions in the past. You use past tense to indicate past actions, present tense to indicate present actions. So that's why I said if you ask a question in the present tense, it means I want you to give an answer of what you do presently. But if you want to tell them what you did in the past, you have to introduce that by arranging your sentence properly. Some people have also asked me if pronunciation matters. Well, you have to work on your pronunciation. You can check online to see the pronunciation of words so that you will be assured that you're pronouncing words correctly. Another very important part of pronunciation is the intonation, the rising and falling tone. Let's say, for instance, if I say, you won the competition, that's a rising tone because it shows that I am expressing a surprise. You won the competition? And sentences that express surprises always fall under the rising tone. But if I have it rather this way, you won the competition. You won the competition. That's just like a clear expression, an assertion, a statement. And guess where that falls? The falling tone. Because statements always belong to the falling tone category. Lastly, for today, I will advise that you prepare ahead before the examination day. Don't give answers that you have crammed. If you give answers that you have crammed, you are forcing the examiner to ask you more difficult questions because there is no way you cram answers and it's only obvious to the examiner that you have crammed. It is very advisable for you to check the popular topics on IELTS speaking. We usually ask questions on family, on TV, on sports, on media, on work, on home. Go online, research more on areas where you need to prepare. I promise you that I will make more videos on IELTS speaking. But in the meantime, if you have any questions to ask me, you can send a DM to the number you're seeing on the screen. You can WhatsApp. And do not forget to subscribe to my channel, Benson Oluwadamilola, where you get more information that will enhance your success in the IELTS test. Thank you for joining me. Until next time.